It's that time again, folks. The daylight is draining out of the sky. It's going to be night in just a little bit. So here we are. I brought you to my Google Plus. And this was some very interesting reading today right here. I don't know if you've heard of Ed Dames or not, but he's the remote viewing major. And you can get his courses online, or you can also, I believe, go and get the same stuff in person, if that conveniences you. But these documents about this stuff here, if you remember last night, I did a little bit about General Stubblebean, and I ran into that again today. All this stemmed from the Project Scangate, Colonel Alexander, which I also used to get a Google alert on in my Yahoo mail, but I don't use that anymore. I can't even get into that anymore. And then Stubblebeans, they're together with that, you see. First Earth Battalion was formed. First Earth Battalion was an advanced version of Jedi assassins created at the U.S. Navy Neuropsychiatry Lab in San Diego. Does some of this just kind of knock you off your feet? Wow, it does me. I'm just kind of, see here, Major Ed Dames, found a PSI Tech in 89. I'm just kind of bowled over by some of it. Board members included again Colonel John B. Alexander and General Albert Stubblebean. Or, I guess maybe if you're on the friendly side of this guy, it could be Stubbly Bean. You ever heard of a Stubbly Bean? You have now. Okay. According to Colonel Alexander, the Jedi Project was to be a follow-up to Neuro-Linguistic-programming skills. Remember, what was his name? Kathy O'Brien married him. Totally wiped out of my memory for right now. Anyway, that's what he did. He was a neuro-linguistic professional. By using the influence of Major General Albert Stubblebean, he managed to fund the Jedi Project. The original idea was to show how human willpower and human concentration affect performance more than any other single factor, using NLP, Neuro-Linguistic-programming skills. NLP was the brainchild of these three people: Fritz Erickson, a Gestalt therapist; Virginia Satir, a family therapist; and Eric Erickson, a hypnotist of the Mental Health Research Institute of SRI at Stanford. Prior to 1988, Colonel Alexander, General Stubblebean, helped organize the First Earth Battalion, which in fact sought to create a battalion of mind-controlled Jedi warriors. Then before that, 81, Operation Gorilla Flame was one of the first remote viewing programs from the Defense Intelligence Agency, DIA. General Albert Stubblebean, commanding general of the United States Army Intelligence and Security Command, was put in charge. Gorilla Flame was renamed Operation Center Lane. The program had originally been run by Dr. Jack Verona, a nuclear physicist and head of the DIA's Scientific and Technical Intelligence Directorate, who simultaneously ran a DIA mind control program called Sleeping Beauty that dealt with the offensive use of microwave weapons. According to Ed Dames, during a Pentagon evaluation in 1988, 3 paper shredders burned out while destroying documents. Was the shredding of documents related to the Sebron Flinaw Jr.? I don't know the pronunciation. The Jedi assassin in the Concord shootings. They think this would tie them all 3 together. In 1988, 1988 was an election year. The United States presidential Republican candidate was George W. Bush, former director of the CIA. Do you find that pretty interesting? Then here I highlighted Monster Factory. And if we go back here to the original post, excuse me, I can show you the link, and whatever I copy pasted off of that, then I will leave a link to the same info in the description. So maybe that will be helpful, right? There we go. Well, maybe that part's on my YouTube. I bet so. No, here it is. MindControlBlackAssassins.com. Agnew State Mental Hospital in search of black assassins. Okay. I wonder if I do have that open right now. Yeah, I have the Monster Factory one open, but it would probably have to reload, but it'd been sitting there. It probably went stagnant. That's why some genius invented refresh. The refresh key or button. Very genius. There we go. And it's got a bunch of reference. I really love that. And I talk about 9/11 being an inside job, and even Stubblebean said that. So you see there's some videos on this link, which, like I said, I'll include at the end. And I came on here actually, and it's not wrapped up like it sometimes will get. If I get really busy, this will get really loud. Listen. It's an Optiplex 745 Dell with a burner in it. And I bought it reconditioned off of like Amazon, because I learned my lesson about buying brand new computer stuff. They just take all the innards out and get it reformatted, reloaded with whatever you want in there, you know. This I didn't request anything special, because I can pretty much do that kind of thing myself. I'm self-taught, so it's not a big deal. My son used to get kind of upset the way I would load so much crap in. He said, "You just put too much crap in here." Well, he'd come along with his games, and I'd let him, like, for instance, I had a laptop too, but he's got it now, so his fiance has something and they can do their own thing. Because they do a lot of, like, applications for jobs and stuff, and they game, and he's always been a big gamer. And even before, though, that I gave him my little laptop, and he did buy that for me for Christmas one time. And I was so proud of him. But they needed it, so, of course, me being mom. But he had left some game stuff on there just so he wouldn't have to reload it and use mine. So, and then sometimes too, he'd go out, and right before he'd go, I said, "Can I get on your computer? Because my laptop, you know, I just would get so tired of it, and it was slow sometimes and just a bother, and I felt just kind of limited. So he'd say, yeah, and I'd get to go on his computer, and he had, well, still has a big screen, you know. He had 2 screens set up there for a while, dual screenage, so, with his games. And yeah, he's 28, but games are important. Yeah. So anyhow. And let me see what was going on my Facebook over here. I found a couple cool songs tonight from the Army Security Association, whatever it was called. Agency, Army Security Agency. And this one that I'm pointing at, they use the same music as for Ballad of the Green Beret, in case you are interested. This was a little different here. That was kind of cool, the anthem. A little different, but... And this, I did a screen cap off of this video here, and it was just like I typed here, news clips compilation. And then at the end, near the end, this footage. And it starts a little ways further back than what I did the screen cap on right here. But I'm like, what the? Is that a Foo? Are these Foo Fighters? So somebody, whoever did this video, whoever took the footage, was pretty much right below where this was going on, the sky above them. Because, staying hidden, probably in the trees or something, they get out and get some footage of the grass as they're running, and then they peek up, you know. But I thought that was kind of cool, that they must have had something, my gosh. So anyhow, then I had to do this one here. The little cat, pew pew pew. Then the Jedi kittens strike back, which was kind of fun. And then this here came out January 13th of this year. I think this is fan-freaking-tastic, but why did it have to take so many years? So many people would have died in that length of time. U.S. to pay billions to Marines affected by contaminating drinking water. And, that was a PBS, you know, the public broadcasting system channel. My son didn't go to Lejeune. My son was at 29 Palms. And I actually did give him a little info today, because they, it had been a couple years ago, but they were testing a whole bunch of bases, hundreds of bases. I forget how many now. Was it over 400 different locations, and it listed some of them? Let me scroll back up here in the messages. 29 Palms. Yeah, 664 bases were. I'm not sure when the story came out. We're getting tested. So, anyhow, I'm almost out of time, so I'll go ahead and get this uploaded with links. Thanks for watching. Oh, let me show you this real quick. Leave you with a happy picture. That's made out of AfroTurf. Isn't that cool?